Jamie, we have made it through the drudgery of summer when there's limited TV.
Yay.
Iffy movies. And now it's just an embarrassment of riches. There's TV shows, there's movies, there's stuff like my DVR queue, it's at 99% all the time. It's like a frantic race to make sure I have enough space because one of my Shark Tanks got deleted. And do you know what kind of a fit I threw when I realized that my wife recorded 180 minutes of the Today Show yesterday with Channing Tatum on it? We had a conversation about that.
That's worthy, but it's not worthy of trumping out as Shark Tank.
She didn't say it was about Channing Tatum, but when I was like, "What is this monstrosity eating all the space?" I saw like stupid name Channing Tatum. I was like, "Well, I know what that's about. And then I deleted it, and that's how marriage works, Jamie.
Right, which is a great segue to our main topic today.
No, you know what? Let's do this. Let's think about the listeners. And I know there are some people who maybe don't want to listen to us talk about Gone Girl, and maybe people who don't watch Walking Dead. What's wrong with you? But what we're going to do, we're going to lead off with lights. We'll do that, and then we'll do those two. So that way, if you don't want to listen to us talk about those two shows, you can still hear our lights and recommendation stuff. But if you do want to hear all that, it's just a little out of order. So, Jamie, do you want to start off with your red light for the week?
I will. So it's funny that you say fall is so great because I do agree pop culturally fall is really the most magical season because of, it's like going through the valley and being on the mountain. Like you can appreciate the mountain once you've been through the valley. For me, my red light is really fall in general, though. Everything not related to television and movies and good music that's coming out this fall, I would say I want to be done with all that. And I think I'm in a mood because partially it's 80 degrees here. Mm-hmm. It's October, and people are wearing sweatshirts and flip-flops, which could not make me angrier on any given day. So if you're doing that, know that something rises up in me, especially if you don't shave your toes. I'm so upset I can't even stand it. But I want to put into that heap of things I want to burn in a fall bonfire. Bonfires. I want that to go in that heap.
You want to burn bonfires, okay?
I do because it's 80 degrees.
Sure. No.
Pumpkins, anything pumpkin related, things that you're flavoring to be pumpkin that shouldn't be pumpkin ever, all those things. Spices. I'm getting rid of acorns because they hurt when you walk on them, in your flip-flops, in your sweatshirt. And then the biggest criminal of all in the fall is candy corn. Do you like candy corn?
Jamie, the heart is willing, but the body is no longer able. Like if I eat two things of candy corn, my teeth just like go berserk. So I just can't have it anymore. I
don't even know what that means. Like,
I've got the teeth of like an old person.
Okay, fair enough. Sensodyne. Okay, so candy corn. I feel like there are people who are like, this is the best candy in the world. I think those are the same people who point to Twizzlers as some sort of quality candy, and those people have failed to try any other candies. Like all of the others. Like they've never tried any other candy because they think those are the best. And I can't trust you people. I can't trust your opinions. I don't care. You go to fancy restaurants and say it's great. I think, but you like candy corn. How do I know that you have any opinions that are fair about anything else?
Jamie, is candy corn the introverts of the candy world?
No. Why do you do that? Why are you trying to offend all the introverts that listen? That's all we got are introverts listening.
I prefer the pumpkin. If we're going to do that, like I prefer the little orange pumpkin with the green stem candy thing.
The waxy.
Yeah.
The waxy
if we're going to do that, then I'd just rather have that.
Yeah. I feel like candy corn, again, follows suit under Girl Scout cookies that we just like it because we can't have it any other time. If we could have it all the time, we would be over it. Like we'd be like, this is like a buttermint. This is not that exciting.
What is your policy on candy corn on cupcakes?
Decoratively gorgeous. Pull it right off. Not going to eat it.
Don't eat it. What's your policy on the little life hack that you cut like a cupcake in half and make it a sandwich?
I love that.
No, that's so stupid. I feel like we've talked about that. That's
stupid.
So stupid.
Which really, I'm going to scrape the icing off anyway, so I'm just going to eat the cake.
It's like, would you fold pizza over and eat it like that? Like, why?
I absolutely fold pizza over. It's easier to dip into ranch if you do that. Ranch dressing.
Wow, here we go again. I feel like we're just going backwards. Okay, I dug into the red light archives of the Popcast before this episode.
Right.
And from my research, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that you hate every single season of the year. Is that correct?
You mean if we
because I found a summer entry that you hated. because of the heat. I found a spring entry that you hated because of the allergies. And I found a winter entry that you hated because of the cold. Jamie, is there anything you like?
I want to die and be with Jesus. That's what I want to do, Knox. I do not want to be in this space anymore. I'm so grumpy. I'm on a spaceship. We learned that last week. I'm a spaceship. And so the only thing, let me tell you the one silver lining of this holiday season, this fall season is, and I'm just waiting, babies and dogs in costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so excited. I can't barely stand it. So if you have a baby or a dog, please make sure that you tag me in your photos because they make me, the serotonin in my brain just overwhelms me. I'm so excited.
That's great. Marlo's going to be a pig. So we're just leaning into that. Have I told you my plan for my son's birthday?
No, which we share a birthday, your son and I.
That's right. So it's going to be a big day. We're going to have a party, and it's going to be Star Wars themed, obviously, because we're right in that phase. He's going to be Obi-Wan, naturally. And so we're laying the groundwork. Like, wouldn't it be, we're going to have stuff where they can make lightsabers, right? And like play and whatever. So we've been laying the groundwork, and we're like, what if Darth Vader showed up? What would you do? And he's like, I'd probably fight him. So like, we're like, yeah, that'd be awesome, right? So I'm going to rent a Darth Vader costume or buy. I don't know how that works. I'm going to have one, and his last present, he's going to open it, and I'm going to bust out of it, right? And Ashley was like, and then like you can let them fight you. I was like, no, because there needs to be some stakes. So I'm going to bust out of the box, and I've got it arranged with another dad who's going to be there. I'm just going to blow him up. I'm going to kick him in the chest and like send him flying, right? And I'm thinking about messing with a kid or two and just knocking them over so they know this is real. Like, this is happening. There is life and there's death, and either one could happen right now. And then they fight me because I think that will be more rewarding.
Wow. So the liability that all these kids are signing, the sheet that they're signing as they come into your party.
If you RSVP in the fine print on the invitation, that is acknowledging the waiver of...
That's fair.
Yeah, so.
That will be so great. We want to see tons of pictures. That's the perfect pop culture birthday.
So we'll
That's
see.
perfect.
Yeah. My red light for this week is... Have you seen, it's the trailer for The Best of Us, the new same Nicholas Sparks movie that he's been making forever?
Yes, I have. Set in like where there are weeping willows and a...
Right, there's weeping willows, there's a beach, it's raining, they're making out, it's too, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
That's not the red light, Jamie, because good for that guy, right? Like, he's the Tyler Perry of white people movies, and good for him. Keep it on. My problem is the dudes they have in the movie, they're supposed to be the same guys. Like, you know, of course, the guy, James Marsden, is the main dude, and his name's Dawson, which is great. On so many levels, it's just so great. But they have young Dawson, right? Because they can't, like, de-age James Marsden. The dude who's playing young Dawson doesn't even look like James. He looks like young James McAvoy. Like, there's no relation to James Marsden. And I feel like if you're making a Nicholas Sparks movie, if you want to just stop trying, just stop trying. Like, just stop trying altogether and let us know that. Because I feel like this is nowhere close to the same looking dude. Go on IMDb, check out the two different guys. I think the guy's name's James Bracey or something. But they don't even look. It's like Zach Morris and then the guy who played Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, they're like, that's the same person. And it's just offensive.
Do you think the issue was, you know, originally in that movie, James Marsden's role, Dawson, the adult Dawson, was supposed
to be... Are you about to give me backstory on this movie? Because my head will explode if you talk to me like an expert on the movie. I just want to know.
I'm just saying I read the internet a lot and I know stuff about things. That this movie, that Paul Walker was supposed to play this lead role.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the question. Does James Bracey look like, if he was blonde, does he look like Paul Walker?
I think he does a little bit.
Yeah. So maybe that's the issue. Not to ruin your red light. I'm not here to do that. That's not my job.
But like, there's still a pool of people who would have conceivably looked a little closer. Or you just recast the young. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you your job, Hollywood, but do better at it.
I know.
Also, red light. This is just me. I'm not trying to cast aspersions on the people who do this, but this is just me. For some reason, Instagram hashtags make me mad. And I think it's not like the ones that are like add humor as subtext. You know,
yeah.
I think it's the ones that have the ambition behind them. Like they're trying to get seen by like this massive audience of people, and like I keep seeing one. It's like VSCO cam, I think.
Yes.
So like, is that for a community of people who want to look at those
those are people
pictures?
who use that app to take photos.
Okay, so I think I just don't understand how hashtags work, evidently, or like the blind ambition that comes with them. So
no, well, and I will say, as somebody who has to do a little online marketing for her side gig, I make cake pops, and I always hashtag things cake pops. I look at that hashtag because I'm looking at what other people are doing. One, to help me feel better about that mine don't look that bad, and then I try to avoid the people who really do amazing work. But I will sometimes hashtag cake pops like SEC football if that's the cake pop I created, because I do want people to kind of discover the product. So I'm more forgiving about if you're trying to hustle a little bit, but I also don't want to follow a feed that's just hustling. So my feed is not just cake pops, because that would be boring and tragic. But I do see, like, when people do 21 hashtags and it's stuff like pretty.
Yeah, that's
sunset.
I don't understand that, because like you have you're trying to monetize something, so I understand that. But like, if it's just me, I'm just putting up a dumb picture of my dumb life. You know, like, why do I need to hashtag that? Like, nobody.
You do not need a hashtag. Yeah, no, you don't. And for those of you, if we're giving tips on Instagram, which that's a really good one, like avoid the 27 hashtags or any that don't bring some meaning to the caption. Also, don't make your caption 27 lines of text.
Now, this is dicey territory. This is controversial, Jamie Golden.
It is. This actually came out of a red light that a listener posted on Twitter, Elizabeth Hyman, and she is not a fan of captions that turn into blogs. And we kind of responded to her and let her know that, yeah, we're anti-Insta blogging. But there are a lot of people that I actually follow several people who do write really long captions, and they can turn a picture of a coffee cup into a spiritual devotional of 1,000 words. And I personally just skim right past that. Like, I'm not reading 1,000. I cannot read 1,000 words. I just cannot. And to me, it's a photography venue. That's what we're trying to get a visual. And so when you turn it into words, you're making it a blogging venue. Is that okay? Jamie says no, red light.
Here's me. You know, I'm just, as a human being, I'm just not as fascist as you are. I'm okay. Like, if you want to try something every now and then, I'm cool with that. If that's like your thing and you want to Insta blog or whatever and always have super long posts, maybe I'll opt out. But because that's just not my thing. But, you know, I'm not as dogmatic as you are about things, I guess.
No, when I say don't do it, I always mean it in context of don't do it because I'm going to unfollow you. You can do it all day long. But what I do appreciate is people like, and this is what I would like you to do. If you're listening and I want to engage with you on Instagram, it's one of my favorite social media networks. I want you to put a caption after that caption that says, I apologize for this, Jamie's Rabbit.
No, just do sorry, not sorry. That's my favorite one.
That's right. Do sorry, not sorry, Jamie's Rabbits. And acknowledge that you know that I know that this is a problem for me. That's because fair. Most people do that. Most people who follow me do that when they post feet. Like, they'll post a pedicure, their baby's first pedicure, and they'll say, Jamie's Rabbits, you got to let me have this one. It's 2-year-old feet. Like, you got to let me have it.
Jamie Golden, can I tell you a story that is probably going to get cut for time, but I need to tell somebody this?
Sure.
I was seeing Gone Girl the other night, right? Got there early, sitting down, optimal space between other human beings, so we weren't affecting each other's viewing experience. And then, of course, right as the movie begins, a young couple comes in and sits right behind me, okay? I don't love it, but that's the way the world works, so what can I do? Luckily, there's good spacing, so I'm not going to hear them. I'm not going to hear them crunching on popcorn and stuff. It's okay. So I hear like a rustling, and I realize that this dude has placed his feet on the seat next to me, right? And I'm like, this is not good, because his feet are like right next to my head. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. He's still got shoes on and everything, right? I look, he has taken his shoes off. Jamie, this is not a flip-flop situation where he slid the flip-flops off. He had peeled his socks and his shoes off of his feet, and then society collapsed and crumbled, and there was looting, and everyone was rioting, and then I got home. Do you believe that story? I don't even know what to say anymore.
Listen, if I have to keep my pants on, he has to keep his shoes and socks on.
Like, guys, I don't ask for much. But don't put your stinky feet next to my head when I'm trying to watch a movie.
I'm so sorry, Knox. That must have been painful. Were you medicated? I assume you were, so that wasn't as hard.
All day, son.
I do know it makes a better viewing experience.
It does.
Okay, so those are our tips for just life in general.
Yeah.
Just some Instablog tips and some real life tips.
What's your green light?
So I have 2 green lights this week. My first one is there is a new folk acoustic collaboration, which is strange, a duo. It's Dallas Green and Alicia Moore, famously known as Pink. And Dallas Green he does most of his indie rock under the name of City and Color. they just got together and said, hey, let's sing and let's see. And she said she'd always been wanting to do an album where she could sing harmony because she just missed doing that. And she gets to do some stripped down stuff in her concert, not just clothing, but acoustic. And so they put out an album this week called Rose Avenue. They're going by the band name You and Me. And it's pretty fantastic. Like, I've had it on repeat because it was a first play on iTunes Radio. And so for about a week, I've had it on just a loop. It is so good. And they do a cover of Sade's No Ordinary Love. And it is like, I want to boff, marry, and kill that song, like all at once. Like, I love it so much. So
very good. Very good. My green light for this week is the Amazon show Transparent. I watched the pilot, I guess maybe in the spring when they released them all, like in bulk, and got people to vote. Loved the pilot. It's Jeffrey Tambor, I think Jay Duplass, Abby Hoffman, I think, and a couple other people. It's the story of a family. You know, I won't really say much about it because just watch the pilot. I don't know. Is it free anywhere on like YouTube or anything?
I think you can watch the pilot on
Amazon.
On YouTube, on Amazon's YouTube channel.
Okay.
And then probably on Amazon. And then the rest of it, you have to have an Amazon Prime account.
Because I've got Prime, so I don't really concern myself with these things. But watch, the pilot is very good. I think it's the most highly lauded Amazon show. Because some of their shows have not been great. But this one is very, very good. But check it out. And then I think you and I both have a joint green light this week. We
have a joint, even though I am on board with Transparent. I think he'll lead the awards. I mean, for his role, he's so fantastic in it. But yes, we have a joint green light. So a Popcast green light, which is so rare because you have such bad taste. But we are both on board for the new podcast from This American Life. So This American Life, of course, we would endorse any day of the week. But it's a new podcast called Serial. Want to tell a little bit about it?
Yeah. Do you know who? I know we had a bunch of people tweet about it. Do you remember everyone who tweeted about it?
The original tweet that I saw was Tiffany Olsen.
Okay.
And then several people, Molly Gentry mentioned it, how fantastic. And then it went up to like Patton Oswalt mentioned it over the course of the last week or so.
Here's what I love. It was This American Life, so I would have listened to it anyway. But if it hadn't been, the little small community world we have here with the podcast, there were enough people to recommend it that I thought I've definitely got to listen to it. And I think that's really neat when we can have a group of people like that suggest things and raise awareness for, maybe stupid things to listen to, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. I listened to it, and obviously the serial concept is to kind of leave with cliffhangers to propel you forward in the next episode. But this one is about a murder of a girl that happened several years ago. Was it 99?
Yeah.
1999. And basically, I won't go too far into the details, but someone was accused and convicted of the crime, the boyfriend. But it's much more complex than that. And Sarah Koenig from This American Life jumped in and basically did a year of her life deep dive into this story, interviewing people around it, trying to find context, understand why it happened. When I heard the details, I thought, I'm not going to be that interested in it. But the way they tell the story, super compelling, and the way they spend time with everyone, and you hear the people in the story, you talk to them. One minute you think someone definitely did this, next minute you think there's no way they could have done that. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
It's so good because, like, for those who are wondering, like, would I like it? Well, if you like murder mysteries or thrillers, or you like documentaries, like, if you fall into any of those categories, you're definitely going to be a fan. But for me, I don't normally like procedurals, but because Sarah Koenig is kind of unpacking this mystery for us almost in the same way that she unpacked it, and we're getting a little bit more information each week about, like, so now I'm obsessed. Like, it's everything in me, and we're only 3 episodes. They only have 3. Like, this week we'll put out the 4th episode that comes out on Thursdays. Now I'm angry that I didn't wait until it was all done.
Right.
Because I thought then I could have binged it, and then it would have just been one day of my life, stuck in my living room, my earphones in, listening, in that way. But now I have to kind of wait. And
it's going to be a couple months, and you're going to be fixating on it the whole time you're waiting.
The whole time. I read a great article. She was interviewed by The Guardian, and she talked about that she's in a constant state of panic because people assume she'd finished the season. She has not. So she's still unwrapping it, still hoping to get interviews with people, because there were some people who wouldn't talk to her, some people who would. And so she says she's really excited in terms of the ending. Kind of, she is letting that come. She doesn't even have a clear outline of how it's going to even end yet.
That's terrifying. Which
is terrifying. It's terrifying for me too as a listener, because I'm like, I hope this ends well. Like, I hope this ends like I hope it ends. But it's crazy that just a story from 15 years ago would be this intriguing, but it totally is.
So yeah, check those out, and let us know your red light screen lights for this week, and we will retweet those, talk about those, and hopefully learn some new things from you guys.